Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are around the world, and welcome to Power Up. We are so happy and grateful to have you all watching this evening. Thank you so much for taking the time midweek to spend with us. We are in for another #epic episode tonight. If you don't know Power Up, I suggest you share this now. Share it with your nearest and dearest, and don't forget to add #epic, because that's exactly the experience you are about to have. We are so happy and grateful to have our beautiful panel. I'm not even going to mention our guest speaker. I'm going to leave our guest speaker fully and solely to Mama G to introduce. So I today am going to introduce the panel. So we have the beautiful Mahmouda Hill.
Hello.
Hi, Moo.
We have the delightful Daryl Gorman.
Hey, Daryl.
And we have the absolute powerhouse herself, Paula Middleton.
Hey, Dragonfly Queen.
And without further ado, I'm not wasting a second today. I am going to hand over to Mama G to introduce our amazing guest speaker. Mama G.
Hello, everybody in Facebook land. Quick. You know what to do. Mama G's rules. #live, #replay. Send us the love. I am so excited. Guys, I'd like to welcome my friend. She's a woman of God, a humanitarian, a philanthropist. Thank goodness I didn't bite my tongue on that one. Author, inspirational speaker, and she's committed to promoting the welfare of others at all times. She's here to talk to us about her non-profit organisation, Phaziz of Life International Ministries. Please, Power Up family, give a warm welcome to Tirzah Andrews.
Oh, thank you all.
Welcome, Tirzah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for such a warm welcome. Thank you for having me today, all you lovely ladies. One thing you didn't mention is my Strength and Honor Women's Group, and we are strength in numbers today, are we?
Yes.
Oh my God, I love looking at you all because it represents, they go to tier. One of the things I'm very passionate about is women and supporting women all over the world. And so here we are live on Power Up. Yes. Come on, y'all. Oh my God. Well, the first thing I want you all to know is I'm not my own. I belong to Jesus. I'm not my own. See, I belong to him. I've been bought with a price, the precious blood of Jesus. See, I am his, and he is mine. Thank you for having me today. It's not about me. It's about what I represent. It's about the purpose that I was born for. I was called to be an evangelist, to draw people to God. That's the first thing that I have to say, that as a woman of God, that is my purpose. But the word that seems to follow me is humanitarian. And as a humanitarian, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen if you like, ladies, about our nonprofit. And I'll begin to tell you a little bit about myself. So I'm gonna share my screen. And thank you all so much again for having me. Can you see the screen there?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, very good. Well, I came here today to share our nonprofit, our 501c3. Let me start off by saying that Phaziz of Life International Ministries Incorporated was new. It's new to the vision of Phaziz of Life. Phaziz of Life was just a phrase 28 years ago. Listen to me. 28 years ago. That phrase came to me in conversation with a young man in my living room. I thought it was for my best friend who was writing a book of poetry. And she was talking about all things of life, you know, children and marriage and dating and all of those things. And I was like, that's it. It's Phases of Life. She said, no, child, that ain't for me. that ain't it. And so I said to God, I was like, well, Lord, who is that for? 28 years later, Phases of Life is not only our nonprofit, but it's a book of how we got started. Phases of Life is a inspirational entertainment, our arts and entertainment department. Phases of Life has also started the women's organization, which I'll share with you all a little later. So our nonprofit, 501c3, Phases of Life, International Ministries Incorporated, okay, was started June of June 11 of last year, 2021. But before I continue to talk about that, I want to tell you a little bit more about myself as a humanitarian. As it relates to promoting the welfare of others, someone who is compassionate about fulfilling the needs of others, someone with the ability to love the unlovely. You understand? When a person has a negative attitude towards you, you got to love them still. When a person mistreats you, you got to love them still. When a person calls you out of your name, you have to love them still. Okay, so I'm someone with the ability to love someone beyond the natural. I love them in their own unloveliness. I'm a person who has the ability or have been told that I care too much. And one thing that's not on the list is you too fluff. Well, you can't help it when you are loving and you love people and you do things. And I'm talking to you out there because you're one of those people, those that understand the things that I'm talking about. You're one of those people that you've been talked about, mistreated, misused. But on the inside of you, you have the desire to make a difference in the world. That's who I am. I'm just a person who wants to make a difference wherever I am. So I'm a person who understands the power of giving, okay, to someone without the thought of getting anything in return. Anybody else can bear witness. You've given some things that you haven't gotten anything in return. That's called unrequited love when you're in a relationship. If a person can't value enough to love you for who you are and they want to change you, then you have to learn when your giving stops. See, sometimes we give, okay, and we don't know how to stop giving. Yes, there's a time to stop giving. There's a spiritual law that says, give and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, shall people given to you, or men given to your bosom. Well, these ladies are given unto me because I've given. I've supported people in their dreams because sometimes we can see things on people's like, wow, that's a gift. Well, automatically, as a humanitarian, you want to put your hands to the plow. You want to make things great for that person. And I pray today that as I was told, I'm the first one to do a PowerPoint presentation on Power Up. So we thank God for that, that you will begin to walk in your own greatness, your own purpose, and your ability to bring love and compassion towards people in your own humanitarianism. I understand that sometimes you're not going to get things in return, and yet understand that there is that spiritual law of giving and receiving that we have to cater to. Who am I and what am I most proud of being? I'm most proud of being, first of all, a biblical woman of God. And when I say a biblical woman of God, I'm a woman of God that shares the word based on what the word says and not my opinion. Now, I'm not reading the Bible to you today, but I know the Bible talks about giving and receiving. You understand? I'm here to share with you the vision of the nonprofit. That this vision started in 1993. 28 years later, the nonprofit is here. As a woman of God, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, and I'm a grandmother. My husband is one of the most generous people I've known in my whole life. And I thank God for my husband today. So hopefully you're watching today, honey. If not, you'll be one of those people putting in hashtag replay. So today I share with you our nonprofit. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to share a little bit about myself. But my greatest accomplishment and the most I'm proud of is our nonprofit. This is the face of Phaziz of Life International Ministries Incorporated. When you go to phazizoflife.com, that's what you will see. So our 501c3, like I said, it was birthed, founded June 11th of 2020. What a great, great moment. I started to cry earlier today when I realized, man, it's been 28 years. Do you know how many people give up on their dreams? You know how many people said, man, it's too hard or it's taking too long? But every time I tried to set that vision aside, it was God through his Holy Spirit, his angel. We have angels watching us and guiding us through this life, letting us know that there's something that you, Miss G, there's something that you specifically you have to do. You can't give up on that dream. You can't give up on you, because no matter how old you are, and I was about 25 when I started that dream. I'm 53 now. I'll be 54 in a couple of days. Never give up on your dream. If you're watching today and you're wondering how long is it going to take, how is not your business. What is your business is putting your hand to the plow, no matter what. You had told me 28 years ago. Let me say this. If you had told me 28 years ago, it's going to take you 28 years, Tirzah, for your vision to come to pass, I would have gave up. I'm pretty sure some other people, I ain't waiting on 28 years. That's over half my life almost. You understand? But because God don't give us the ending, he knows the ending from the beginning, okay? And you have to continue to pursue your dreams and never give up on you. Never give up on the dreams that you have within yourself. Okay, so ours was started back. The vision, Phaziz of Life, started in 1993. Okay, it's June 11, 2020 when it actually got established, and here we are. Because of the heart and compassion of my husband, who funded this nonprofit, and my beautiful daughter Selena, she was saving some money to move, and I said, she heard me talking about the nonprofit and how we have, and I didn't even know she was getting any money or saving any money. And I told her that I need $600 for our final payment for our nonprofit. Now, I could have waited till my husband got paid or whatever, but she said to me, she said, "Mom, I'll give it to you." Out of her own need, she gave it to me. And that's what I do all the time. So everything that you put out into the world, whatever you give to the world, is coming back to you. People supporting your dreams and your goals, it's going to come back to you, because when you give without expecting anything in return, these are the things that happen. So I want to give a special thanks to my husband, Willie Andrews, and my daughter, Selena Simmons, for allowing this vision to come to pass. Why? Our why. Well, in my single life, I was passionate about feeding the homeless and giving those to those in need. And it continued whenever my husband and I got married. We would go out, we'll leave our Sabbath service, and one particular Sabbath, we didn't have service and we took food, right? Because we have a little eating during after our service. And so this particular Sabbath, nobody showed up because we were closed. And I said, oh Lord, we didn't remember. So what we do, we bagged that stuff up and we took it to the homeless. Yes. And it was a great feeling because even in the midst, somebody wanted to eat that day. They didn't have anything to eat. We took it to the homeless. This is not about us. God knows it's not about us. It's about having a heart to think on other people. I could have took it home. We could have ate on it for a couple of days. It was fruit. You understand? And sandwiches. You understand what I'm saying? Things that we would give to the homeless, you know. We had also given out perishable items and stuff like that. But this is what I'm saying, that you have to begin to feel the need. And that thing started with me and my husband. We were dating. And now we're carrying it over into our marriage. Okay. We've only been married 4 years. We're still honeymooning. We're still honeymooning, but it still carries on. So that picture you see is where we went to the store and got hand sanitizer. We even got dental floss, toothpaste. We had toothpaste and toothbrushes. We had socks and all kinds of stuff. Stuff that was donated to us from a young man, Jacob. He gave us donations, and I just want to say thank you to everybody that participated. Erin, you know, she's one of those people. I'll show you a picture about that later. But anyway, we desire to keep this going and do it on a higher level. So I went through a company to start our nonprofit. Okay, and it's all based on my own personal experiences, my personal experiences of being a single mother. I've seen single mothers out there and praying for them and her children. Their children going through divorce, married and divorced twice. I'm on my third marriage and last and final marriage. Okay. The difference, making a difference and being the difference of what I desire to see in the earth. These are some of the pictures that we took over our first, from starting our nonprofit in June. Now, some of the things I talked about earlier is things that me and my husband did before we started nonprofit, and how we continuing on is some of the pictures that you see here. To the left at the top, I was in Jamaica. And there was a word that came to this young lady, and she said she was waiting on that word. She said, oh my God, you know, I can't believe you said that. And it was just in my spirit to say it. And so when you hear that soft voice of the Holy Spirit say this to an individual, don't hold back. Tell that person what it is that you're supposed to say and leave it at that. Okay. But she began to cry, and then she started telling me some things, and I said, oh my goodness, I didn't know why I was bringing one of my books, The Power of Being Woman. I didn't know why I was taking it on my honeymoon. But I always take a book with me, and she was a woman that needed that book. And so I sowed that seed into her that day. The next picture you'll see is a picture of us on our day out, our first event, our Walk for Cancer for women and children. And so we didn't have any women that were suffering from cancer. So we took that money and we gave it to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Another picture you'll see there is me holding up the lunch bag from where we fed the homeless that day. And I'm just gonna go across the top, but this last picture across the top is a home. I was driving, I was feeding the homeless one day out by myself, and giving out cards for our ministry. And I was led to this little building, and in the building was some children, and that had been either abandoned or turned over to the state. I didn't know this lady. The place looked empty, but I knocked on the door and there were children inside. And so my husband and I were able to feed them as well. So we just thank God for Phaziz of Life, that unexpected things are happening. In the middle there, you see our sign for our Strength and Honor Women. We look after the elderly. Papa Talbert, I don't want to call him, I was going to say Mr. Talbert, but Papa Talbert has passed away now. But I I had great moments visiting him in the nursing home and in his home. And whenever he would see me, he would just light up. And he was unable to speak, but he could understand what I was saying. And when he saw me, he would light up like, "Where you been? Where have you been?" Because they lived in Concord and I live in Mount Holly. So it was just a blessing to be able to share the word with him and talk to him and pray with him and his wife. She's still here. We still visit. She gave me this lovely dress that I have on. So thank you, Mother Talbert, if you see this later, and so on and so forth. So that's some of the things that we do with our nonprofit. Okay, on a larger scale, for the sake of clarifying, we decided to start with food, clothing, hygiene products. Why? Because we were funding the ministry out of our pockets. And this is what we did before we even started the nonprofit. And so we knew what we could do alone, but we wanted to be able to expand and do things in a more successful way. Our team, we have a board of directors, and we are committed to helping those in need. And so our amazing board, we have part-time volunteers, and they're committed to helping. And it's according to 2 Timothy 4:1-5, that we are making full proof of our ministry through drawing people to God, through sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ according to scripture. We are doing the work of an evangelist. That's our responsibility. And here's some more of those pictures that I shared with you earlier. Our history started when we saw the need for a nonprofit like ours, which encourages us to continue to strive for an even more successful work. As an example, transitional housing, very important. On our journey of feeding the homeless, there are older women, 60s, on the street, 70, 80s, years old, on the street. And that's just, I just think that's crazy to see older people on the street losing their homes. This one lady said to me, she said, I told her, our vision and what we represented and stuff. And she said, "Oh, that's wonderful." She said she was put out of her home and she can't get a home now because of something she did when she was 18 years old. So it's still on her credit. She's unable. And that breaks my heart because that's somebody's grandmother. That's somebody's mother. That's somebody's sister that's on the street. Now, in my own single life, I brought people into my home that God led me. You can't do that for everybody. And I know these are trying times. But if you hear that soft voice says, take them home, put them in a hotel, whatever that voice says, you need to be obedient because people are in need today in a way that we have no way of controlling. And so that's why this day is so important, because not only are our children suffering, but our elders are suffering, widows are suffering, there are marriages that are suffering, and our ministry want to be able to give back. As far as the K through 12, the school of faith, we want to be able to do that because I believe that there are children, good children, suffering through the school system. What I don't say is that, or what I didn't say was that I drove for CMS. I've been a CDL driver for over 20 years. I love kids. And I used to see the good kids suffer and get bullied because of what other children were doing. And it's I feel like I took on the responsibility of everything that I suffered through when I was in school. And so I want to be able to give children a safe place to go to without being bullied, without being mistreated, a structured environment with discipline, because I feel like, that's a whole nother story. I'll get into that another time. But anyway, our K through 12 schools, we need funding for these things. Exercise dance school, the reason why I wanted to start the exercise dance school, because as a bus driver, I saw the heavyset kids getting left behind. They're in the back teacher had looked back at all, they're crossing the street in the highways downtown, and this kid was running to try to keep up with everybody. So this is my way of giving back to the obese women and children. And our purpose-driven international nonprofit work in your area is to provide solutions. I want this thing to go all over the world so that we can start it up everywhere, that women, wherever you are, that you can be that voice, you can be that person to start your own vision. Don't give up on your vision, because although we have some of the same visions and dreams, however long, it might be shorter for you. I might have suffered for you. I may have suffered through for you to be able to find answers to your dreams and your goals. It might not take you 28 years. It might take you a year. It might take you 6 months. It might take you a week, depending on what your resources are. But our purpose-driven international nonprofit work in your area is to provide solutions during times when others are not. We formed our organization to provide sensible solutions in desperate times such as COVID-19. We've consistently seek growth. We consistently seek growth in our finances since the outbreak of COVID-19. And a special thanks to God for, in the name of Jesus, for our helping hands of all the amazing people on our board, people that we don't get to see, but we do it viral. We do it over the internet, just like anybody else, because of the COVID-19, to raise funds, to give. We go out there with our mask on, our gloves on, and all of this kind of stuff to feed the homeless and stuff. But we want you all to understand that this is a big vision. This vision is huge, and it's necessary for us to let you know what our mission, where our vision, and what our goal is, okay? And so we focus on providing the maximum positive effort for our community, which is noted in our mission, goal, and our vision. Our vision is to restore, encourage, aspire, change, and heal families by empowering those in need with a positive self-image, building a healthy mindset and a positive input of the word of God through the King James Version. Initiate activities, provide opportunities to serve others through the community, and travel around the world and encourage all nations to do the same. For God's house would be called a house of prayer for all people. All people. And our vision is to see that those restored, encouraged, inspired, changed, and healed individuals come together as a unit to promote and demonstrate a positive image, each living with a sense of purpose while fulfilling their own individual purpose. And our goal is to network, connect, and create an environment that supports mental, physical, intellectual, spiritual, and emotional well-being while connecting and networking with other organizations in our state, others across the country, and creating future career opportunities that causes economic change, that provide hope for a better future for families and generations to come, providing life solutions that makes an everlasting change. Projected 5, 10 to 15-year plan. You heard a little bit about it, but I will reiterate this so you can understand the value of your donation, the value of you giving, the value of you sowing a seed into a business ministry that will create lives, better lives for children and women and men all over the world. Transitional housing, we want it. We want to take those old people off the street, people that are really trying out here, that want help, that are clean, that are trying to live a life of hope. We are the miracle of those that are trying to live a life of hope. We are that miracle of those that believe God. We are the ones that God is using to bring those dreams to pass. Transitional housing. Community center for conferences, education for the youth and adults, empowerment and development. We need to be developed. We need to help them get their GED. We need to help them learn how to fill out applications. We need to encourage our children to be good, better than our own personal best. We need to let our children know that they are the future generations to come, that they are the next presidents, they are the next senators, that they are the next governors, they are the next mayors, they are next ministers in this world, and they have to take their place. It's time to take your place. You might not be the person to do the work, but you might be the person with the resources to bring their dreams to pass. There are children that are hungry. There are adults that are hungry. There are parents that need help with their children. Single mothers need a hand up, not a hand out. They're looking for help today, and we're asking you to be that help for them today through Phaziz of Life International Ministries. You heard my testimony about the exercise dance school for children who desire to dance, but they don't think they can dance because they're afraid of being picked on for their size. Well, let's put them all in one place and give them a place to go so they can be celebrated instead of tolerated. Let's give the K through 12 schools of faith, which includes transportation department, sports department, and biblical history, letting them know that we all belong together. We all belong to God. We all belong to a place in this world that says, listen, I believe in you. I believe in a God that's able to do anything. He's able to do exceedingly abundantly above all you could ever ask or think, according to your faith. Your faith will make you whole. Your faith will bring your dreams to pass. Your faith will make it all happen for you today. Give and it shall be given unto you. In which all above we create paid career opportunities. Those schools got to be ran. The schools got to be ran. Somebody's got to be paid. They're not going to do that for free. I wouldn't expect them to. Our nonprofit will be a profitable nonprofit years later to be able to pay the people in school. This money goes all straight to the bank, not to me, not to my husband, none of that. That goes to the nonprofit. We want to build in this time, in this season. Things are happening. People's lives are being changed. And we want the world to know that somebody's out here that care. We care for our people in our community. So I ask you today to donate. Go to phazizoflife.com. And as I was instructed, I will increase our way of receiving funding starting today with Vimo, Skype, Stripe. We have PayPal, and we have Cash App. But today, because of this international affair that we're having today with Power Up, I pray that you all will continue to strive to be a blessing for somebody else. If you can, and if you will, put your donation in a card and send that card to POLIM, that's Phaziz of Life International Ministries Incorporated, POLIM Incorporated, 806 W stands for West Central Avenue, P.O. Box 1043, Mount Holly, North Carolina, 28120. And I reiterate, POLIM, POLIM Incorporated, 806 West Central Avenue, P.O. Box 1043, Mount Holly, North Carolina, 28120. Thank you. There are other ways here that you can connect with me. Be the difference that you desire to see today. Thank you very much. My name is Tirzah V Andrews, and it's been my pleasure. God bless you. Wow.
Thank you so much. That was amazing. Stacey, ladies, quickly, what have you got to say? Thank you, Tirzah. Ladies, open to you.
Absolutely. I just feel that it is so important that you have raised the issue of homelessness for older people. Because generally speaking, when we think about the homeless, even if you've had contact with the homeless, you still generally think of the homeless as young.
Young, yeah.
And now in, times of COVID-19 especially, more and more people are losing their homes. And that in itself is causing major issues. And I just think that without the likes of you, Tirzah, that there would be a lot more suffering out there. Yeah. So I commend you for everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
Long may it continue. May your organization be blessed with abundant health, wealth, strength, courage, people, and especially donators. Let's hope that this reaches as many people as possible and the help starts to flood in for you, because you have done amazing work in such a short space of time.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I really do commend you for that.
Thank you. We have a great team of people. Like I mentioned, Aaron Robinson, who has been amazing. You saw in the picture where on the cover picture with the little flower in the little globe. But Erin is one of the most giving young ladies. She has her own dreams, and she told me, I found out she was one of my followers on YouTube. And come to find out, I didn't know, because she was using a different name. And she's one of my Strength and Honor women. She's my personal assistant. She said, I've been watching you, and I want to be your assistant. I want to help you bring your vision to pass. And I was like, wow. And I didn't know that I had met her in person. I don't even think I had met her in person yet. I hadn't started going to the Israel of God yet. But when I met her, she didn't tell me I'm the one on your YouTube channel. All I know is this sweet little bubbly little girl. And I'm gonna share my screen with you so you can try to see her. But she just real quick, I want to share that with you, because she, she's got a wonderful heart. And I want you to see her little face, her little let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Okay, can you see that little picture down there? Right here at the bottom, right here. Can you see my arrow?
I'm not seeing a screen. It's coming up now. It's come up now.
Right here, this little bubbly little.
Yeah.
She's gonna be in charge of our arts and entertainment department for our ministry. And right up above, you see Phaziz of Life, Inspirational Entertainment. That's where I share the word and stuff for our Strength and Honor Women's Group, which is sponsored by the Phaziz of Life International Ministries. So Aaron has been instrumental. You see that little picture right there beside Aaron? That's her in the background. This lady was signing our mailing list for our nonprofit right there. That's me and my husband over there at the organization where I met the young lady who had the children in there. It looks like it was an abandoned place. And my husband and I went there and we fed children and left them water and stuff. And that is just amazing. And I'm going to stop sharing, but I just want you all to understand that this stuff is so near and dear to me, that I suffered in homelessness. I had a daughter, and a sheriff came to my house and said, you got to go. I don't celebrate Christmas anymore, but it was during Christmas season when I had the tree and all her little toys up under the tree. And he said, you got to go. And I had to find somewhere to go. And I had left my friend's house, long story short, because it's a long and involved story. But I made friends with this lady by the name of Mary Ann Logan. And she had pushed me out of the street. My car had broke down. She pushed me out of the street. And I said, thank you. And next thing you know, we became the best of friends. But I had gotten sick and she took me to her home. And long story short, when I went home, I was sick and I left her house. She said, where you going? I said, I got to go home. I said, I'm not well. She said, you're not well yet. I said, but I got to go. I have to go. Something is saying, we know what the something is. Something is saying, I got to go home. And then she said, okay. So I went home. Went home, turned the key, closed the door, got upstairs, and fell on my bed. I was so weak. I fell on my bed. Boom, 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 boom. Sheriff came to the door. I was like, oh God. So I went to the door and he said, ma'am, you're going to have to leave. You're going to have to leave. You're being padlocked out of your apartment. I was like, where am I supposed to go? So I called my friend Mary Ann and she said, well, pack a bag and come on. The favor of God. You know, so there are people assigned to you. There's another lady by the name of Betty. Miss Betty, we worked together. I think it was at a Winn-Dixie. I've had tons of types of jobs. Y'all have no idea. But I was working at a grocery store and I met Miss Betty. Miss Betty was suffering from cancer. I didn't know it. But Miss Betty was healed from cancer. She was healed from cancer. But it was Miss Betty who told me, Tirzah, people are waiting on you. People are waiting on you. And I didn't understand what she meant. But a couple of ladies on this page, at the bottom of the page, the one lady with the big hoop earrings was is an author now, but she was an aspiring author. And I told her I had written a couple of books and I would help you. I told her I'll help you. If you need help, I'll help you. And people always want to know, well, what do you charge? I charge nothing. I mean, somebody helped me, so I'm going to help you, you know? And another lady by the name Miss Theta, I helped her with a home-based business, but I mentor her for free. I do it because there's people in the world that needs help. And without humanitarians, their prayers are going to go unanswered. So I'm asking everybody that's watching today, if you would, just live your dreams. Live your divine purpose. If you don't know what your purpose is, look back over your life. There are clues there. There are clues there. Phaziz of Life started in 1993. Phaziz of Life has been what do you call it when you sell stuff out of your trunk? I was selling stuff out of my trunk, y'all. I used to sell merchandise out of my trunk, hair bows and stuff like that. Phaziz of Life is a book. I talk about my journey, how I overcame my adversities and started following my dreams. The book was so jacked up with the typos and the stuff in it. But do you believe that even in the midst of the typos, somebody approached me? I was in a center where they, what do you call it when you, it's a place where you go, if you lose your job, you can go to the center and you can apply for jobs at this place.
Like the job center.
A job center, we'll just call it job center. But it was a specific name. I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, this lady came up to me and she said, oh my God, it's you. And I said, Tirzah? She said, I got your book. I got your book. I said, even with all them typos, she said, I remember you. She said, your book blessed my life. What a blessing. I say, even with the typos and all the mistakes, yes. See, we're looking at the fact that we don't have our act together. We're looking at the fact that, we don't know what to do with what we have. We're looking at the fact that we don't have all our ducks in a row. But I'm saying to you today, if you would just begin to move in the way that God will have you to go. You say, well, how I know what he want me to do? That soft voice that say, go left, you need to go left. That soft voice say, don't you go back there, don't go back there. That soft voice say, stop and wait. And there you'll meet your destiny. Here today, I'm meeting my destiny. This is a predestined life that we live.
Amen, Tirzah. Amen. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And it's the message that I keep putting out there. I keep trying to put this inspirational message out there, and you've cemented it for me. We are in time constraints now, my friend. So we're going to have to wrap it up. Ladies on the panel, I am so sorry that you weren't able to put any questions, but you can put them in the comments, and I'm sure Tirzah will be happy to answer them for you. Am I right, Tirzah?
Yes, please, please. I'm so sorry. I told you I was a
That's
walkie-talkie.
okay.
Honey.
That's
It's
okay.
talking, can't help it.
Love the passion. The message needed to get out there. It's such an important organization that you've started up. The message out there to everybody is build on your dream. It starts as a little seed in the beginning. Water it, nourish it, love on it, and it will grow. Tirzah is proof that your dreams can come true. And on that note, Stacey, would you like to say our goodbyes? Mute.
Yes, thank you. Just to reiterate, thank you so much, Tirzah. We have learned a lot. We are so grateful that you came on today. Thank you for sharing your organization. If you want any more information, do be looking through Power Up. I will be sharing all the information that Tirzah was sharing in her slides about how to go about making donations. Please visit her website. I'll be putting the website up again and have a look at what she's doing. And share. Sharing is the key. You know, you are going to be helping people near and far. So on that note, thank you to our beautiful panel. Thank you so much for taking the time and being here with us. And we love you all. Remember, #replay and share the love. Take care of each other. Power up, people.
Bye.
Power up, people. Be kind to yourselves. Well done, Tirzah.
Bye. Love you.